second match of the day. First set, it is on Bel'Shir Vestige, spawning up in the top left-hand position as the red Protoss from KT Rolster. His name is Zest.
His opponent spawning as a yellow Protoss on the right bottom side. His name is Bong, playing for CJ Entus.
Entertain us.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Well, I beat you to it, man, but yeah, Entus does mean entertain us.
Yes, they actually shortened it, and I love the name, I have to say.
It's a good name, man. It's solid.
Now, one of the reasons why KT Rolster got a new uniform, you know, this is pretty much off topic, but KT Rolster actually, KT, the group itself, actually decided to form a sports, KT Sports, so it actually has the basketball team, all the different teams under the same management, so now KT Rolster is part of it, just like SK Telecom T1 and SK Telecom Sports.
By the way, guys,
SK Sports, not SK Telecom Sports.
For those of you who out there who may not know, KT stands for Korean Telecom, and they're one of the largest business telecoms out here in Korea. They control a lot of the phone lines and internet and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and actually, is that Zenix Storm, or is that some different team?
What is that? Are those League of Legends players?
I think League of Legends players, but they were also wearing the Handsome Nerd shirts, I think.
No, not bad.
Not bad.
Nice. All right, well, getting into the game here, we do have the double gas going down for Bong for the 15-15. Just one gas so far for Zest here, and we're going to have to see if he wants to follow that up with a double gate or not.
It's pretty much player preference, I have to say. You know, some people go for the one gas, try to put the 3 probes inside the one gas and trying to get more minerals earlier out in the game, go for the cybernetics core, and then go for the assimilator. Other players, they try to get more gas earlier in the game for the cost of, you know, few more minerals.
Oh, Chill Gob coughing a lot there, man. I hope he's not sick or anything during this match.
I thought he was going to cough up blood and cover himself with it for a second.
That would actually be like the coolest thing in the history of StarCraft. He's like coughing up a storm, blood's all over his face. He's still playing StarCraft and he like somehow wins his match. That'd be pretty cool to see.
That would be epic to see, but I don't know if that's actually allowed on cable television.
Well, I mean, it would be like an uncontrolled thing, so...
I guess they'll have some excuse.
Yeah. Most of all the viewers that we're casting to are currently watching online, but the Korean version of this, the Korean casters, this is shown online, or sorry,
online and
on SPO TV in Korea.
Look at this, Bong going for the fast expand, and his opponent is actually trying to stay on the left side, possibly going for the proxy play. Now look at this, Bong also trying to see if his opponent went for early proxy play, trying to see if there's going to be any proxy Stargate around the map.
I mean, you know, it takes a lot of guts to really pull off a fast expansion like this, because there's a lot of things that can counter it. But
you got a probe hidden over here, and if he actually decided to go for some proxy tech, he would have gotten up by now. I mean, the what you call it, the warp gate is all halfway done. He has 3 gateways, so he's gonna go for 3 gateway pressure, and it's actually gonna work out well against Bong, because Bong decided to play as greedy as possible.
And look, now it's scouted. The Nexus is seen. The problem is Bong, he just started 2 additional gateways right now, but there's going to be 3 in production a lot longer for Zest over Bong's gateway count right now. So this is actually really risky from Bong here, and I'm not sure if he's going to even be able to keep that Nexus. Now that the Mothership Core for his opponent is here, we may even see a Nexus cannon go off here. That's going to be the only thing that Bong can really do in this situation to defend against this pressure.
But Bong also needs to make sure that he doesn't use the Nexus cannon until he has to.
Indeed, now we also have a Stargate going down for both players here. That Nexus, is Bong going to even try to defend it?
Well, it's an iffy situation for Bong to be in, and yes, he does use the Nexus cannon, but that's only going to buy him about a minute before the Stalkers come in again and try to harass the Nexus. So he's only sitting down on 1 mining base. He's going to have less Stalkers than his opponent, so now Bong's in this little situation where he knows that he needs to make something happen, and that's why he made 3 Zealots inside the main base, and Zest already used the warp in at the natural.
Yeah, so now the Zealots are going to move in here to Bong's base, and this is actually really bad for him, but It looks like Zest, he's going to be attacking that natural Nexus, going to do his best to destroy it. The Nexus cannon alone will not be able to stop these units. The Nexus, it goes down, but the problem is there is a force field at Bong's natural, so it would be unwise for Zest to move in here, but he still has to deal with those Zealots in his main base, and I think Bong's just going to keep warping in more and more Zealots, but currently he is supply blocked.
You know what's also funny? Is that Zest actually got the Stargate out before his opponent, but Bong already has a Phoenix out for himself. I mean, that's pretty much all.
Hold that thought, though. We do have Zest moving into the main base of Bong here, and he's putting out nice time warp going down as well. And, you know, even if Bong survived this, he's going to lose so many probes to this attack here. We have 20 to 21 right now, so it looks like Zest has done a good job at equalizing out the economies here. But the attack was thwarted, the mothership killed off, so the only thing Zest can really do at this point is maybe some type of mini contain here, but the game has evened out considerably.
And look at this, Bong going for the Zealot harassment once again, but Zest spots in time, but does not put down the force field because he already has 2 Zealots inside the main base.
Yep, the Zealots moving in there. They're not going to really be able to do too much damage here. They may be able to snipe a probe or two, but if Zest has really good micro, then he will be able to prevent that. Force field going down, going to be trapping those Zealots in there, and the probes will get trapped a little bit as well, but overall not the biggest deal.
Well, not the biggest deal, but it does delay his mining time, and the advantage that he got from the time warp from the previously, you know, it doesn't really happen anymore because now the probes couldn't mine for a few extra seconds. So while it's nice that he didn't lose any probes, he actually delayed his own mining time.
That is very true. All right, now supplies 50 to 48, so very even between both players. I think that. Do you think we're going to see expansion from both players here?
Oh, definitely at this point. You know, both players cannot go for a counter-attack and win the game outright, so it's just better for players to start making more Phoenix and play an economic game from this point on.
At the Phoenix, they do barely spot the Stalker there, but they decide, nope, we're going to let that Stalker live to blink another day. Just going to do a little bit of scouting here, but look at this. We have Zest moving across the map. It looks like he wants to get a little bit aggressive here against his opponent.
Well, I don't know if Zest actually is going to attack into his opponent because, you know, both players are so similar on the unit count. And look at this, we're seeing the hallucinated Phoenix once again, but Bong already has up to 4 Phoenix for himself. Zest's 4th Phoenix is actually going to join the main group pretty soon.
And if we look, you know, army supplies still pretty close here. The hallucinated Phoenix going in there, seeing everything that's going on. That's going to prompt Zest to move back to his main base and just defend and focus on the economic game.
But the biggest problem for Zest is that he did not see the Nexus with the hallucinated Phoenix.
Oh, he missed that?
He missed that.
Well, that actually that's actually a big deal then.
Unless the observer was trolling me, he didn't see the Nexus.
Maybe he's assuming that because right now he's putting out a 2nd Stargate, not making anything out of the other one though, interestingly enough right now, and he does have the resources to do that.
But he still doesn't know what his opponent is doing because, you know, he has a 2nd Stargate, now he's making the Phoenix, but he doesn't, you know, he's expecting the 2nd Nexus from his opponent, but he's not 100% certain that the Nexus is over there, so he still needs to play a little bit more careful. That's why the units are inside the natural, trying to defend against the possible all-in that his opponent might do from one base.
Interestingly enough here, we're not seeing too much commitment to that natural there as far as mining goes, and look at this, a fast fleet beacon from our CJ player. It looks like he is favoring the fleet beacon over the 2nd Stargate here.
That's going to be a little tricky because his opponent get the fleet beacon up, and the upgrade difference is not going to matter as much if you have more Phoenix in the Phoenix War. So I would like to see Bong actually get a 2nd Stargate up, get even a 3rd one for himself, and just squeeze out Phoenix one by one.
So this is essentially going to turn into an all-out Phoenix War here, guys. We're going to see the upgrade for the Phoenixes get researched here. That's going to increase the range by +2. So it's a great upgrade to have there. More scouting from Bong here. The Phoenixes, will they be able to deny that 2nd Stargate? Yes. So the 2nd Stargate and the Fleet Beacon has not been scouted. And Bong, I am assuming that he thinks he has a nice advantage because of how fast he made his Fleet Beacon.
Well, it also depends on the number of Phoenixes that he saw because he knows that he was on 1 Stargate for a long time. And if he realizes that his opponent has a little more Phoenix with that bunch over there, he should suspect something about how his opponent actually got a faster second Stargate and just play accordingly. Now, both players need to be careful because even if one player has the Phoenix advantage, you know, like we saw in Zest's game, PvP earlier this round, I have to say.
Hold that thought, though. We have some Phoenixes lifting up a lot of Stalkers here. This is a lot of free units, essentially, for Zest here. And, you know, now he's taken a knife supply lead, 92 to 74 supply here. The Phoenix count is the same here. They'll both have the range upgrade as well, so it's just going to come down to you know, who has a little bit better control. And now the Phoenix War, is it going to happen here? I think that both players were counting on having the range advantage over the other, but a few volleys going up between both players here. Phoenix is dying on both ends. It's still anyone's game here. We're going to need to see the rest of Zest's army joining with the Phoenixes during this fight.
Bong's army was actually out of position, so that's why Bong was trying to get one or two volley off with the Phoenixes, and now it seems like he wants to engage into the army, but he easily cannot do it. Instead, the better choice should be getting the third Phoenix out. Just get a lot more Phoenix out, establish a third base, look a little bit further into the game, get the +1 for the Phoenix, and, you know, just play it out for now. Play defensive and, you know, try to win the game later. This is not something that Bong wants to do. He doesn't have the ground army. We are at, you know, similar Phoenix count, but Zest has the Stalkers from the ground for support.
Indeed, that ground support could tip the tide in his favor if they have an all-out battle here. And we do have Zest moving some Zealots into the side here, doing a lot of damage against those sentries, and Force Field's forced to go down, but the Phoenix are going to come lift them up, but the Stalker does go down at least. So, and actually a sentry, those Zealots, I have to say, are pretty worth it. And terrible miss rally here from Bong. He just lost 2 Phoenix essentially for free here, and this could prompt an attack from Zest.
It doesn't prompt an attack, but it's going to put him in such a huge lead, because what we missed is that Zest right now has up to 3 Stargates. Bong only has 2, so as time goes by, Zest is going to have more Phoenix than his opponent.
Indeed, and now we're going to have a little bit more harassment going on here. Another Phoenix essentially sniped there, and the Phoenix advantage is heavily in Zest's favor now, and you know, when it comes to the Phoenix Wars, if you lose the Phoenix War, you will lose the game 99% of the time.
Yeah, so unless Bong transitions quickly into something like, you know, Mass Archons, there's no way that Bong can actually win this engagement without the Nexus Cannon.
Yeah, and even that Nexus Cannon still, that's like, I mean, it'll help out, but it may not be able to make enough of a difference here. And that third base, Zest is going to move in, try to attack that. Oh, smart by Bong, trying to see if he can find any extra Phoenixes to snipe off there. But will we have that big Phoenix War? That third base is going to go down, though, and we have the Phoenix War going on here. But Zest is so far ahead in the Phoenix count, but nice stacking from both players. Still not clear who has more, but I think now Zest has realized he has the army advantage. He is going to press in here and move forward and commence with the attack.
Now, one thing that viewers have to realize is that the players do not know how many Phoenixes that their opponent has. That's why they can't easily engage into opponent's army. But now Bong has some idea on how many Phoenixes his opponent has, and he knows that he needs to fight with the Nexus Cannon.
Indeed, it's 129 to 87 supply right now. Zest just completely pulling ahead in this game, and I feel like once this Nexus Cannon is done, you know, he's just going to go in for a big attack and try to end the game.
He could even try to dive for it with few Phoenixes, snipe the Mothership Core, prevent the second Nexus Cannon, and then go for the counterattack.
Yeah, very possible indeed here, and I like that Bong's trying to use that sentry there to add the Guardian Shield in for the main Phoenix Wars there. That does help out a lot, having that extra Guardian Shield there. That's +2 armor for each volley there, so nice addition to have to the main army here.
So Bong is in this situation where he wants to establish a third base for himself, but his opponent has superior army, and it's not like the units are slow, you know, like siege tanks. They're actually so mobile around the map. Those are Phoenixes, mass Phoenixes. Bong is getting a third Stargate for himself, but it's so later compared to his opponent Zest that the Phoenix count is heavily in Zest's favor, and Zest, all he has to do is make one favorable engagement and he's going to win the game.
All right, it looks like Zest, is he going to continue going for it? He gets a lot of good volleys here, 23 to 12 Phoenix here, so that is a humongous advantage for Arcade player, but more Phoenix are joining the fight on Bong's side, and he's really trying to get that third base down, but I think that the Phoenix count has been revealed here. Zest's going to continue sniping off more and more of those Phoenixes. The Phoenix count, it's getting very, very low. for our CJ player, and I think that we're going to see a final victory from Zest here.
Yes, all Zest has to do now is just 1A into the Nexus while the Phoenixes snipe off. Extra Phoenixes coming out from the Stargaze, and this is going to be the game. GG.
First game of the second match goes to Zest from KT Rolster, taking out Bong in a nice PvP macro series there, using the Phoenix, quite well there overall.
Yeah, his micro was much better than his opponent. He always got the Stargaze earlier than his opponent. The second Stargate came earlier, especially the third one played a huge role, and Bong also not getting a full scout on his opponent hurt him a lot.
Yeah, the third Stargate, sniping a few Phoenixes here and there, that just pulled Zest ahead in the fight so much, and Bong, he did try to do a lot of harassment throughout the game, but it didn't really work out too much in his favor. All right, so currently the score is 1-0 with